everybody, welcome back. This is the A&P Bible, and today we are talking about the structure and the function of the heart. Today we're really just looking at what the heart looks like. Does it have layers? How does the blood come in and out of the heart? And what are the vessels called that the blood travels through? In the next lecture we will be talking about the types of circulation. So this is again layered learning because we've already learned the blood and its components. We've also learned about arteries, veins and capillaries in the previous lectures. Okay, let's get straight into it. So structure and function of the heart. Everybody thinks that the heart, I loved this. This is so funny. This is so me. Everybody thinks that the heart looks like this little guy down here because I can't draw. So that's how I draw my heart. But in real life, it has loads of vessels coming out of it and a hell of a lot more going on and doesn't actually look like a heart. So what is the heart? It's a muscular organ. It's situated in the chest cavity, so it's about the size of the person's fist, and it's over to the left-hand side of the thoracic cavity. And the function, to pump blood around the body. So the heart is the thing that pushes all the blood through those vessels. Then we get that changeover from oxygen to carbon dioxide and vice versa. Cellular respiration by diffusion goes into different vessels, comes back to the heart, and the same thing happens over and over again. So let's get straight into it. Oh, sorry. So the structure. When I used to teach the cardiovascular system, all of the students, if you're a student of mine, you probably won't be watching this now because you're more than qualified, but if you were a student of mine, we just kind of got the giggles because I cannot draw. But I give it a good whack. So for my lack of artisticness, I have some good inventive skills that can help you because I can't draw. So the structure of the heart. I love this photo here because it really breaks down how easy it is to draw the heart. If you're in an exam or if you're thinking about things, and if you're a visual learner, you're going to get a blank piece of paper and a pen. You can just sketch out a box. I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute, but it's so good visually. You can grab your pen, you can draw the blood flow coming in through the, through the different vessels, in through the atria, coming down into the ventricles, etc. So it's really, really good visually to be able to draw it and then to be able to go through the circulatory system, which we will do in the next one. But first we need to know how to draw it and understand the structure of the heart. So there's two atrias and two ventricles. So when I'm drawing my heart, this is what I'm going to draw. I'm going to do it now while we're in front of the camera. This is how bad I am at drawing, by the way. So this is how I draw my heart. Yes, it is a box. But this is how we change that. So this is a box which we're going to turn into a heart. But how I understand that the atria is at the top and the ventricles are at the bottom is the atria fits in here. So A for atria up the top hand corner, and ventricle V fits down there. So atrias are at the top, ventricles at the bottom. Same on the other side. There is a wall that divides the heart into two. So it splits the heart into right and left side. This wall is known as the septum. Okay? Septum. Very similar to the septum in your nose that splits your nasal passages from right to left. So already we know that when we're looking at the heart, the atria are at the top and the ventricles are at the bottom. If you are mortified by my drawing, you can make it more like a heart by just kind of sketching in these little lines. Okay, this is really turning into a circle, but you get what I mean. You can make it into a heart if you want to. So already we know the atrias are at the top. So blood enters always through atrias. Blood will never enter through a ventricle because to get to a ventricle, the vessel has to pump blood into the atria and then down to the bottom floor of the ventricle so it can be pushed back out again through the blood vessels. Same here. Enter through the atria, goes down to the ventricle, and then the forcing action of the pump pushes it back up and out through the vessel. Okay, so easy. So atrias receive the blood and ventricles pump the blood. So again, start with your little drawing. Hope you can see that. No matter how bad it is, who cares? You're not getting judged on your artistic skills. Okay, now this is getting a bit more in detail, which you can go and then fill in. You can even draw. You can get a rubber then and draw in the vessels coming in here, the vessels coming out here. And then you can start to label them. But once you have the basis, everything else is just layered learning. You're just building in little vessels, building in little atrias, building in little valves. So this is what it looks like professionally. Okay, so you have your pulmonary artery up here at the top. You can see blood is coming in from the vena cava. down through the right atrium into the right ventricle, and then out through the pulmonary artery. On the other side, you have blood coming in from the pulmonary vein, hitting into the left atrium, because remember, blood always enters via atria, down through the left ventricle, and then pushes back up through the aorta. Notice again, our colour indicators. So looking at the right side of the heart, has blue arrows, which indicates deoxygenated blood. Left side of the heart is red, which indicates oxygenated blood. So notice how the right is on the left side and the left is on the right hand side. So you always have to know that you're labelling the heart. It's not as if you're drawing your right hand side and your left hand side. It's always the other way around, okay? It's really important for labelling. Look at these things here as well. So we got some valves. The valves, when we talked about arteries and veins, we talked about veins. We talked about how veins have valves to prevent the backflow of blood. And valves are exactly for that function, to prevent the backflow. When the heart beats, it goes boop, 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 boop. They're the valves opening and closing, so the blood is pushing through each time, so it'll go. Okay, so watch my arrow. So boop, boop, and the valves close. Keep saying veins, sorry. The valves close. Then it goes, and where's my little arrow? Then it goes boop, boop. The valves open, the blood pushes down into the ventricle, and then once again, the heart pumps again, and that blood goes boop, boop, straight out of the heart again. So it's the heartbeats or muscular contractions that just allow the movement of blood through the atria to the ventricle, out through the vessel. Okay? Look at the wall of the heart. It's nice and thick, isn't it? We're going to go through the layers in a second. There's 3 layers that are in and amongst this one layer that we can see here, and they all have different functions, and we're going to go through that in a second. So all this area is hollow, and it just stores and moves blood. So it stores it for a very short amount of time. Boop, boop, holds it, passes it on, boop, boop, passes it on. And there's always blood in an atria and a ventricle, always. Got your pulmonary vein. Remember, veins have valves. Veins transport what kind of blood? Deoxygenated blood, except for pulmonary veins, because that's the one exception to the rule. This will be on the next lecture as well, but I want you to pay attention. If you have been paying attention, you would have already been like, why does a pulmonary vein have a red arrow? That means that it's carrying oxygenated blood, and you told us that veins carry only deoxygenated blood. I did, but there's one exception to the rule. So pulmonary, when you hear pulmonary, it's always to do with the lungs. So always the vessels going from the heart to the lungs have an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide and come back to the heart. So whenever you hear pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, it's the other way around. But just keep it in the back of your head. Don't get stressed about it, because we're going to go through it in the next one. Okay, so now that we know what it looks like, we're getting used to the terminology. You will have to sketch and draw this quite a lot for you to get into labelling and understanding the words. Now we're going to look at the layers of the heart. So if I had a heart in front of me and I cut it in half, I could see the outline of the heart. There's 3 separate layers that are surrounding the heart. EMP is how you're going to remember it. So the endocardium is the inner layer of the heart. It's made up of endothelial tissue, which just lines the cavities. Okay, so endocardium. Then you have the myocardium. The myocardium is just made up of muscle. It's the muscular layer of the heart. So muscles contract, and obviously we need the heart to contract. So it's the myocardium that helps the heart beat, okay? Think myo, muscle. So think myo is the middle layer, and it's the layer of cardiac muscle. And then the pericardium is the outside layer, and it's a double layer fluid-filled sac, okay? And this is what prevents friction when the heart beats, because obviously it's like boo, 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 and it's going to do that from the minute you're born to the minute you die, so it needs to be prevented from friction, from any friction building up, so it has a fluid-filled sac. So 3 layers, EMP, endocardium, inner layer, myocardium, muscular layer, pericardium, outside layer. Easy. Main heart vessels, if you love colours, if you love diagrams, this is a really, really nice diagram. Out of all the diagrams out there, I love this one because you can see where everything is going. So again, for example, blood coming in. So the superior vena cava just means above. So superior vena cava. So that's your vessel coming down, blood's flowing into the right atrium, goes through the tricuspid valve. So you need to know that the tricuspid valves are the valves on the right side of the heart, and the mitral valves are the ones on the left. So they're just the valves, but they're called different things to be able to label them and talk about them clearly. Blood comes down into the right ventricle and then goes boop, pushes straight up here through the pulmonary artery, where the blood is taken to the lungs. Let's look on the other side of the heart. blood is coming from the lungs into the pulmonary veins, into the left atrium, down to the left ventricle, and then one more beat pushes it up, straight up into the aorta, which supplies blood to the rest of the body. This is one of my favourite diagrams. Take a photo of this, print it out, put it on your car steering wheel if you're stuck in traffic. Get used to labelling and being able to talk about this. Okay, quick quiz. So list the layers of the heart in order. So E, M, P, E, M, P. Just get a A4 sheet. I love my A4 sheets. I used to hate when trainers said, get a blank A4 sheet, and you're like, how am I meant to put what's in my head on that? But you will, because you will remember it, because you're doing a great job. So list the layers of the heart, blank sheet of paper, EMP. List the layers. What is the layer of muscle that separates the right from the left side of the heart? This is the muscle that was down the middle of my box. This guy here. And then draw and label. So draw and label the right and left side of the heart. So all you need to do is draw the box, put in the atria, put in the ventricles, put in the septum. Where is the aorta? Where is the pulmonary artery? Where is the pulmonary vein? What side are they on? Is it the right or the left? That's so, so important. And that's it! Oh my God. Wasn't that so fine? It was fine, wasn't it? So we've literally just went through pretty much the whole structure of the heart. Obviously, we're going to go through the circulatory system in a minute, which means the types of circulation that run through the heart and go to different areas of the body. But now you can understand and explain the structure and function of parts of the heart and the vessels entering and leaving the heart. You should also be able to very artistically draw the heart. The right side, the left side, the atria, the ventricles, the septum, the pulmonary vein, the aorta, the vena cava, etc. So you will have to watch that once or twice. But good job, guys. Hang in there. You're nearly done. We're doing types of circulation next. Otherwise, email me if you need anything at all, the ampbible@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And keep up the good work. You're smashing it. I know this is a hard subject, but you're doing a really good job. Well done.